Hello everybody! Today's vlog is a bit different than what you're used to. As you can see, I'm not on location, but I'm behind the desk at my computer. And the reason for that is that I'm preparing for my Lofoten trip next week. And I thought it would be fun to show you how I pack, and what I bring with me for my photography tour. So let's start with my camera gear, of course. That's the most important for this trip. I start with my 5D Mark IV. It's a really good camera, I love it. I've been using it for quite some time now and I think it's fantastic. On this camera is a L bracket, and this L bracket is being replaced tomorrow. So if you want this L bracket, leave a nice comment, and the most fun comment I will pick, and that person will get this L bracket. On this camera is my 15 to 30 millimeter G2 lens, really nice wide angle lens, and yeah, I love those grand epic scenes with a nice foreground, and this emphasizes the perspective, and I think that's really interesting. It's really nice, I love that. And next to it I'm going to bring my my 24 to 70 millimeter lens. It's really nice and versatile. The last lens I'm bringing is the 70 to 200 millimeter telephoto lens, also a Tamron. With landscape photography, one wouldn't think of using a telephoto lens quite often, but I think it's really interesting part of the kit because you can shoot intimate details and go into a scene. You can really be creative and shoot images that are not shot very often. With a wide angle lens you often have like ground vistas and stuff, and often they are easy to repeat, but with a lens like this you can go into intimate details and be more creative, which I think is really nice. Next to my lenses I bring my Nissi filter kit. I've selected a couple of filters, among which is the polarizer of course, and the medium edge gradual ND filter. There's also the Nissi natural night filter with northern lights. Hopefully we'll get clear skies and then we can photograph the northern lights. And when photographing the northern lights, it's awesome when all the light pollution is being cut out of the image, and with this natural light filter that's absolutely going to happen, so that's nice. Next to my kit I will bring my Mavic 2 Pro. It's an awesome drone. With flying a drone in Norway but also in other countries, make sure that you know the regulations, the rules and regulations, and always respect the local people and their privacy. I think that's really important, but next to it, it's a fun piece of equipment. Yeah, and really worth bringing. Of course, with the drone goes the controller and the spare battery. And the people who've seen my video in the Harz, which I will link up here, know that the battery of the controller depleted really quickly. And so this time I'm bringing some hand warmers to pre-warm the controller and see if it helps. So yeah, I will get back on that. If it helps, then you will know for sure. Of course, with seascape photography, landscape photography, it's important to bring cleaning cloths, cleaning liquid and stuff like this, especially with the 150 millimeter filters. They are huge, so they get, even though they have a really nice coating, they get dirty after a while. So this is really important, you should never forget it. And to put it all on, of course, my camera, this Gitzo Mountaineer. I love it. It's such a sturdy tripod, and that's something you really need when you go to the Lofoten. You really need a sturdy tripod. There's a lot of wind often, and uneven terrain, soggy terrain sometimes. So yeah, this one is really sturdy, and I like it because it's nice and bulky. I often wear gloves, and so everything is like big, so it's easy to work with gloves, and it's not too heavy also, so that's really good. And what I'm doing, you see there's a lot of equipment. What I'm doing is this equipment goes in my camera bag, except for the this stuff, the cleaning stuff, and my tripod. They don't allow tripods on the airplane, of course, so the tripod goes in the luggage. And also the filters, actually. The filters I put in a t-shirt, a lot of t-shirts or stuff like that, and they go in my bag. And I will show you how I pack my bag in a minute. This all goes in my camera bag, together with my laptop. Everything else goes in my luggage. Alright, next I want to talk about clothing. Clothing, that's something really important, and it's a question I get a lot. What do you pack for the Arctic? And basically it's the same as with every mountainous area where there is snow and where it can be cold. People who've been hiking and who've been visiting mountainous areas, they know that it's smart to wear layers, because when it gets hot you can peel off a layer, and when it gets cold you can put on a layer. So you work with layers, and to do so I've prepared a list, and that's the list my customers will get, of course. And so we start with the base layer, and the base layer is simple. It is this thermo shirt and a thermo pair of trousers. And these are light, these are, I think, synthetic, but they won't smell. Also, it's nice when you get sweaty, they don't get wet and smelly and stuff. And so I always bring two pairs, but you can easily wear them a couple of days. So that's a nice thing. And these base layers keep you warm, especially when you're moving. When your body is in motion, you stay warm, which is nice. And on top of that, I wear a t-shirt, often like a normal t-shirt, and a sweater, either a sweater or a vest. And I choose for a sweater when it's cold and we get out, like at night. And during the day when we go hiking, I take a vest, because then you can zip it down and that's nice to cool off. And of course, because I don't have much hair, I bring a hat. And I think it's really important, because a lot of heat goes away via your head. And especially when you're bald like me, you have to wear a hat. Then as top layer, I bring a warm down jacket. Well, I used to bring a down jacket, now I have a synthetic Primal Love jacket. It's a really nice jacket. It's warm and not too heavy. It's nice and wearable. And when the weather is crazy, when it's raining, I bring a hard shell to protect me from the wind or snow, blizzards or rain. So yeah, that's a really smart thing to do. Always bring a hard shell. And then of course snowboard pants. And I have two pairs of snowboard pants, and they are both waterproof. They're Volcom, really nice brand. And the nice thing with these pants is that they have zippers next to the knees, and so they can give nice ventilation when you're walking. And that's good, because often when you're walking a lot, you get sweaty, you tend to get sweaty. And the most important thing when in the Arctic or when in mountainous areas, when it's cold, you should prevent sweating, because as soon as you start photography and you're standing still, you get cold. So the trick is not to get sweaty. Then something that's really underrated, I think, are socks. Socks are really important. Once you get cold feet, you will cool off like completely, and you will start to feel miserable. So the important thing is to keep warm feet, and you're doing that by good shoes, of course, but also really good socks. And for aurora shooting, I use wool socks, thick wool socks, and they are not for hiking. They are way too hot. So for hiking, I use different socks. They are thin merino wool, and they're because it's merino wool, they're not getting smelly that quick. So you don't need to bring a lot of them. But yeah, I really like these, and the better your socks are, the less chance you have for blisters, because that's often with improper clothing, with improper socks, you will get blisters. And so the shoes I'm wearing are Gore-Tex Mindles. They're stiff, they're sturdy, and so they're really waterproof, which is important, because again, if you get wet feet, your feet will get cold, and then you will start to become miserable. So that's not nice. That's something you want to prevent. Then next to your shoes, gloves are really important. I always bring two pairs of gloves. I like to bring the Gore-Tex thick Burton snowboard style gloves. I really like them. They're warm, they're toasty. And so when I'm not photographing, I use those. And when I'm shooting, I'm using a thinner pair of gloves, which are, well, they're basically made for photography. They are the Lower Pro, I don't know what type. So with these gloves, you can fold away the fingers, and that makes the buttons more accessible and easier to use your camera. So yeah, I think that's basically my kit that I bring, my clothing kit. And next to that, I bring personal items, and there are a few that I think are really important to mention. And one of those is lip balm, because it's super dry. The air is super dry often. Your lips will start to hurt, and it really sucks if you don't have anything to put on your lips, because after a while it will get really painful. And trust me, I had it, and yeah, you don't want to do that. It's super painful, so it's not nice. And because of this dry air, you have to stay hydrated all the time. So it's smart to bring a water bag or a water bottle and fill that up every time you have the chance. The water in the Lofoten is drinkable, except for the seawater, of course, but that's logic. The water is drinkable, and so you can basically fill up your water bottle at every stream we pass, but it's smart to bring a 2-liter water bag when we're hiking and when we're out shooting. Then I would like to mention a few electronic devices I'm bringing, and one is my laptop. And of course the smartphone, which is now over there, because I use my smartphone as a way of vlogging, but also in case of emergency, or if I want to just make a nice little behind the scenes photo, I'm using my smartphone. And one thing that everybody should bring is a head torch. Because when we're shooting at night, or when we're doing a sunset hike, it will be dark when we get back, so a head torch is really something you want to bring. Because we will be hiking, and because we will be hiking in snow, it's mandatory to bring ice spikes, snow spikes. And I didn't do that last year. Well, I did, but my customer, he forgot to bring them, and so I loaned him mine, and then we had to cross an ice field, and for him it was easy, and I had to, well, it was pretty tough, and I'm glad that I have like 15 years of climbing experience, so I knew what to do, but it was not advisable at all. So that's something, it's really important to bring those. Let's go to the packing, shall we? The last thing I didn't pack, as you can see, are my shoes, and that's because I'm wearing these on the airplane. They are too heavy to pack, and I want to wear these so that I save weight in my bag. And next to it I wear a comfortable pair of trousers in order to be comfortable on the plane. And this pair of trousers has nice pockets on the side, so I can put in all the travel documents. And I also will be wearing my thick jacket. Can be quite hot, but I think that way I save a lot of weight in my bag, and so yeah, I can bring other stuff. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed it. It might be a bit of a mess, but this is the way I pack my stuff, and I don't bring suitcases. I like to put everything in like a big rucksack. So that's my way of packing. If you have any suggestions or want to share your way of packing, please let me know. Well, that was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. It's a bit different than what I'm used to doing, and so it may be a bit wonky. I'm still learning a lot, so yeah, if you have tips or advice, please feel free to let me know in the comment. And also, if you want to win this L bracket, make sure to leave a nice comment about it and why you should have it, and I will pick somebody who I think deserves it. So if you like my video, please hit the like button, and if you like my content, it would mean a lot if you would subscribe. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.